Hello, it's Penny Gale. Welcome. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. And I also would ask, would you please stay to the end? And if you like the story, give it a thumbs up. Today I bring you the third story in the series, 12 Life Lessons That Public School Taught Me. Number 3, when your stepdad gives you a gift, always get a receipt. Some of you may be wondering by now where the stepchild comes from in the title, since I've mentioned a few times that Mom never married. It's true, she didn't. But when I was about 7 or 8 years old, a man did come into our lives. Robin was just a baby, my little sister. We had been living in the Housing Authority projects in Bourbonnais. It was nice to have our own place, and there were a lot of kids in the area. I rode the Tweety Bird church bus every Wednesday evening and twice on Sundays. He would eventually become a frequent overnight guest, something my mother only did once at Granny's, and he slept on the couch. Joe was a house painter by trade, 6'6", easy, dark hair, mustache, big gut, always wore the same thing, blue jeans, white t-shirt with cigarettes rolled up in the sleeve, with brown two-tone cowboy boots. He had a Tweety Bird tattooed on his arm, ironically. Always drinking Coca-Cola. I think he drank a 12-pack a day, if not more. Rotten teeth. For some reason, he didn't like me very much. But he adored my little sister. With 6 years between us, she would bother me sometimes, of course. If for some reason she cried or tattled on me, I'd always be the one to get the blame. Mom sometimes would go to the Legion with Granny, Martha and Shirley. And sometimes on the weekends she would leave us in his care. Now it was during these times that he showed his true colors. He used a belt for spankings, and I remember once getting out of the bathtub only to have him insist I go in there with just a towel, and he spanked my bare bottom with the belt because Robin said I hit her or something. He, of course, still denies any of this to this day. I would cry and beg Mom not to leave me with him, and was quickly labeled a spoiled brat by my aunts and older cousins. They didn't know. Neither did Mom. He was pretty good at wearing that mask. I loved his parents, Nana and Papa. That's what we called them. Papa smoked a pipe. He was really a kind man. One time we were at their house, one Easter. We were taking pictures at their home in Wichita Falls. And we had floor-length dresses on, I remember. And he did not want to take a picture of just me and him. To this day, it makes me very sad and insecure to think about it. I remember feeling so rejected by him. He has the picture. I gave it to him. I framed it later on. And the look on his face in that picture, it tells the whole story. You can just tell he did not want to be in that picture with me. I just remember wishing he would like me. But he never did. I enjoyed feeding the ducks at the country club in Wichita Falls, where Papa worked as a groundskeeper. And Joe, he wasn't all that bad. When he wanted to buy something for Robin, he would include me. He took us to the flea market pretty regular, and one day he bought me a feather clip. You know what I'm talking about. You know, the little clips with the long feathers on them. Yeah. Well, I started collecting them every time we go. And one day my older cousin Tammy told me what they were used for. I couldn't believe it. He had no idea. Seriously, he did not. I mean, the man's only got a 7th grade education. Folks, seriously, he did not know. While he was an excellent painter, messy but good, he just isn't highly educated at this point, okay? I know now, Mom, she knew what they were, but she was pretty laid back and didn't care if I liked them, so she let me collect them for years. Now, there was something else about him I had a hard time with. Uh, when he gifted me like a bigger gift, say a bicycle, go kart, motorcycle, something like that, he wouldn't let me share them. If I got caught letting one of my cousins ride any of them, he would just take it away from me, and I usually didn't get it back. In fact, I'm pretty sure I never got it back. For Christmas one year, I don't know if it was Christmas, but one year he gave me a pink Huffy bicycle, and I was allowed to ride it to school. That was awesome. Until the tire went flat, of course, and never got fixed. Wasn't that how it was? The same with all my bicycles, if I remember right. I think most of us probably had the same experience, right? Later in life, he told me a story. He said, I came home crying one day without my bicycle, that the school had kept it because they thought it was stolen. What? I do not remember this. He said he took me back up there and told them that he had bought it for me. He goes on about how mad at him he was over the whole thing. All right, time out. Let's think about this for a second. Have you ever heard of such a thing? Yeah, me neither. I find this story, well, strange, to say the least. Mom, Granny, they don't remember. I don't remember. Which, come on now, I remember pretty much everything. So I really have a hard time wrapping my brain around it. For one thing, no one in my family, moms, aunts, uncles, cousins, none of my friends, or me, have any kind of criminal record. They all went to Burke schools, too. This is Smalltown USA. You know who the thieves are. Am I right? Why would the school think this? Because we're poor? Would they really keep my bicycle? Sending me home embarrassed and in tears? The answer is no, they wouldn't. Or, why would I not recall such a day? That's some pretty powerful stuff right there. The school I loved, felt comfortable in, thrived in, kept my bike, called me a thief. That kind of stuff sticks, right? Let's not even mention the fact that this man that treats me horribly behind closed doors happens to be home when school lets out, and then takes me up there to get my bike and stands up for me with no one witnessing this. Fine act of kindness, right? And why would they just take his word for it? He's not from Burke. No one knows him. And I doubt he had a receipt. So my next question is for you, listeners. Why? Why would he make up such a story like that? Or let's just say it is true. Why would I block such an event? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm interested to get some different perspectives. Well, he kept trying to talk Mom into moving into a rent house, promising to help pay rent and utilities and such, groceries and all that. She knew better, but eventually we did move. 5th grade, 4th maybe. That's when the arguing escalated. I remember one time there wasn't anything to eat. I came home to find him eating a mixture of mayonnaise and ketchup spread on lettuce. And he was so mad because there were no groceries in the house. Shortly after, we moved back to Granny's house because he just never would help Mom, and she couldn't do it on her own. He still came around for a while until one day he came in and they got to arguing. Me and Mom were in the living room watching TV, and I was on the couch and she was in the recliner, and he sat down across from her. And for whatever reason, I don't know what was said. Um, but all of a sudden, a mason jar full of iced tea goes flying across the room, right by his head, hits the wall and shatters. Oh my goodness. They both jump up. I pull my feet in crisscross on the couch. And there's my 4 foot 9 inch mother standing toe to toe with this huge man. He pulls his arm back, starting a fist. And I will never forget these words as long as I live. She looked straight up at him and said, "Go ahead, hit me. But you got to sleep sometime. And I got a metal ball bat in that closet that says you won't ever wake up again." She stares him down. He takes a step back, looks over at me, back at her. He just turns around and leaves, never to return. Well, for Mom, anyhow. His story doesn't end there, but this one does. So, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for staying to the end. And if you like this lesson, give it a thumbs up. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next story from Redheaded Freckle-Faced Stepchild. And as always, be kind. I insist.